All right, everyone. Welcome back to Mic'd Up Live. I am Mike Carmelini, as you know, and joining me, as you can see, my fine friend Colum Cronin. Colum, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you.
Good to be chatting to you about Broncos related stuff, Mike.
Yeah.
It's been a wild ride this season, and let me tell you that prime time game last night, which finished up at about 4:17. I'm delighted that we got the win, but um, if you're a human, right, you want to feel joy, and I while our defense is magnificent, it is a thing of sheer beauty. The brutality, the domination, the determination, it's incredible. The offense is the antithesis of that. It brings nothing but misery currently. And yeah, I'm glad we're 8-2 though.
Yeah, I guess that's good. I'd like to apologize for Broncos country and for the team for keeping you up. Watching the game in Dublin, Ireland at 4:30 in the morning. Um, that's dedication. I appreciate that.
I watched us play the Colts in 2022 when it was
Oh,
when Russ and Matty Ice, and that went to overtime, and that was field goal essential. So
yeah. It could be
yeah.
worse. So overall thoughts of the game obviously are probably a lot like mine. Kind of a disastrous performance from the offense from Sean Payton. Special teams did their best to remain maybe the worst special teams in the league, but they did
I,
have the block. So
they did now, yeah, but that was the biggest concern for me on special teams is how it's not just one player or one unit, and I think that is it's every single week there's something new.
yeah,
I know
that's coaching. Yeah.
I know the Raiders moved off to Tom McMahon, who was undoubtedly the worst special teams coach in the league. I will say what I did something about special teams, and the outstanding Rizzy, according to
Mhm.
prickly Sean Payton in his press
Outstanding job.
conferences,
Yeah.
outstanding. I thought it was very interesting that Luca Evans, give Luca a shout out, doing great work there, asking the
Mhm.
questions that maybe Sean doesn't like. But when Sean said, like, oh, it was players and the players aren't getting on, but it was an anonymous player on a mysterious play. Talk about coach speak. Sean Payton is a media master when it comes to manipulating the narrative. And then it went, who was the player? What was the play? And we forgot about good old Darren Rizzi.
So you make a great point there, Colin. The Sean Payton is a master. Well, he did work in the media for a while, lest we forget. So he he has his guys and girls out there. He has his contacts. It's come up um, in the last day. There's been some Twitter, I don't know, not fodder, but there's a lot of talk going around about what's going on between Bo and Sean. And um, now the issue here might be where this stuff is coming from because Sean has his guys that are more like spokespersons than they are reporters when it comes to some of this stuff. Am I right? Can I show you something from 2024 that
Oh yes, yes. I think because this I think is important, right? Because there's been as you said, a lot of talk today from Sean Payton people in the media, but this isn't just a today story, perhaps, Mike. And maybe people are not aware that this kind of has been around for a little while.
yeah, I'm gonna play this up for. I'm gonna cue this up for you here.
And I have wondered throughout this process, and I don't know if you heard whispers, it certainly was something going around, like how much did Sean Payton want this quarterback? How much was pushed, by ownership that they had to take someone, and he was the last guy there at 12. I don't think they would draft him unless there was some buy-in from Sean Payton, but the Breeze comparisons are a little tough to stomach.
Wow. Okay. So, is that Rosenthal? Is that who that was?
That was Greg Rosenthal
Wow.
on with Robert Mays on The Athletic in August of 2024. So we are talking 15, 16 months ago.
Wow. And so maybe you write that off at the time as,
Mm-hmm.
you know, talk and with substance. I mean, Rosenthal's a trusted source, you know, as well as media can be, right? I mean, he's not somebody that's just trying to get clicks, or is he?
You wouldn't the way he dropped it in there, he's dropping that in a podcast. He's not putting it out there like
Mhm.
looking for, and that really didn't get picked up at the time. It perked my ears up. But I kind of put it down to chatter. You get a lot of chatter and speculation. If you remember at the time, Sean was doing a really hard sell on Bo
Mhm.
Nix at that time, and kind of dunking on the Vikings and whatnot. And then Bo went on to have a pretty solid rookie campaign. But it was interesting that it was there, and Rosenthal didn't just say that he heard it; he said the chatter was out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I found that part interesting too, um, and it did feel a little like it was being oversold, right? How Bo was the best. If you pick these stats, he was the best quarterback in all of college football. And me as a Broncos fan, I didn't need that. So it did feel a little oversold. Like all I had to say was, you know, we, I love the guy. I don't really care what anybody else thinks. He's the starter on our team. That that would have been enough for me. But yeah, there was a lot of selling going on, a lot of justification for the pick. Now, let's fast forward. It's the Broncos are 8-2, so uh, don't care about the score now. We're 8-2, first place, best record in the NFL, and here we are talking about Sean Payton and Bo Nix. So last night, just to catch you up, Colum, last night on the post game show that we do every week. It's on Let's Talk Broncos. It's on Mic'd Up, and it's on David Talks Broncos. For all of you out there that watch it, thank you. We get a ton of viewers for that, and I appreciate it. Um, they will know that we have been talking a little bit more about Bo and Sean and the chicken and the egg and why the offense is doing what it does and why it feels like the play calling doesn't look like Sean trusts Bo. Um, that marriage, and it's been about a month now, I've been saying something's wrong with this marriage. Uh, is there something possibly wrong with this marriage? Because if you're on Twitter today, there's some chatter going on out there, Colin. What's up with that? What's going on, and why is it important? Because of who's saying it.
It's important just to keep an eye on it, right? I
Okay.
mean, look, the media needs to fill time, so you got to be skeptical on these. But when the same people kind of line up with the same story, you begin to wonder where that's come from.
Mm-hmm.
Why they all suddenly came to this at the same time. Why, it happens to be a story on Twitter. Why Colin Cowherd, who Sean Payton has been on regularly, is talking about, would Sean Payton draft another quarterback? I'm dead serious. Bo Nix has regressed badly. I mean,
Well,
that's a direct quote. Now, it's difficult for me to believe that Cowherd would go that strongly if he didn't feel that there might be something in there. I'm not saying that this is coming directly from Sean Payton, but it's difficult to believe that there wouldn't be kind of some feeling out there. So it's worth paying attention to the likes of Cowherd, the likes of Chase Daniel, Kay Adams has, it was on her show. These are all people that Sean Payton is friendly with. He is very savvy. He's very, very media savvy, and we know the way the insider and the media world works. You don't tend to burn bridges, and people would be slow, I would have thought personally, to put stuff out there if they felt that Sean Payton would be really unhappy with them. Certainly privately unhappy. Publicly, we'll see.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Sean, we all know that Sean Payton is stubborn and media savvy. He's also a bit petty. He will. You don't want to be on his bad. You don't want to be on Sean Payton's bad side, and so that almost, like, the conspiracy theorist in me is saying somebody got the go ahead to say those words, because Sean would never say them. Now, there could be ulterior motives. He could be, I don't know, motivating his quarterback in a very odd way.
That's possible. I mean, certainly, you light a fire under him. Maybe you're trying to. Who knows? I just think, and I get it. There'll be lots of fans who will just point to the fact that the Broncos are 8-2 and it is the best. But this is a historically good defense. I mean, we're talking about, Mike. The Broncos have had some good defenses. We've had two defenses that have had names, right? Because they were so good.
Yeah.
This defense is on course to be up with them. They're that good, and if Bo Nix was playing at a level where he was even playing at maybe the 18th best QB in the league, the Broncos, I think, would be Super Bowl favorites. But he is not. He is playing at a level where he is the 26th or 27th best quarterback in the league. And that's why this is coming up. I understand some fans won't care, but I would point you back to Tim Tebow, who won 6 games on the bounce, who won a playoff game, and ultimately who it didn't work out. I think Bo Nix is a better passer than Tim Tebow, but he's undoubtedly regressed. Everything the stats tell you, the eye test tells you, this is a guy who has regressed, and he's struggling. You get it when he struggles against the Texans, #1 defense. But my goodness, when he struggles against the Jets and then he struggles against the Raiders at home, yikes.
Yeah. I think that there was a lot of talk about a sophomore slump. There's a lot of talk about, now there's talk about regression with Bo. And certainly he's regressed. But I heard I think it was Troy Rank was talking about this after the game last night. And he postulated that since Bo is so, I guess his football IQ apparently is very high. And he's a hard studier, a hard worker. And Sean kind of got a little spoiled with Drew Brees, right? And so he could lay all this stuff on him and put all these different options. And Troy was saying it looks like that Bo is getting behind because he's looking, look, check down, go there, look there, do this. And like there might be just a little bit too much on him where he doesn't look like he's playing with his athletic ability now. He's not setting his feet. He's not comfortable in the pocket because he has so much going on. I would believe that too if that turned out to be true, because I actually said this before I saw that on the show, where at least I asked the question, is it possible that Sean loves to be cute and he loves to be the smartest guy in the room and he loves to be a genius. And This isn't a bash Bo or a bash Sean Payton show because I'm a fan of both of these guys, but they have their faults. Sean's fault is he's the smartest guy in the room all the time, and he's always wanting to prove it. I worry when I don't see Bo doing the things he does until the game's on the line, and it kind of has to happen, and where it's just like, you know what, go out there and win the game and we'll do these plays. And then for the rest of the game, like, I just feel like it's possible that Sean is not putting him in the best positions because I see open receivers. But when you watch Bo, there's a first read, there's a second read, there's a third read. Everybody's got choice routes. There's a lot that goes into that quarterback in a Sean Payton system. So I have hope, I guess is what I'm saying. I have Bo hope. I have hope that on this break, after this little break we have here, and then after the break, that they're going to come to some agreement that, like, okay, maybe I'm getting too cute. Maybe I'm getting too deep in the weeds. Let's find the 10 or 12 things you can do well and try and make it a little simpler. After all, Colum, he is halfway through his second year and he's playing worse. But he shows that there's a switch that seems to go on. The guy is a player. Like, he doesn't crawl into a shell when we need him to score. He goes the opposite way. And I don't like the Tebow comparison because that win streak was very fluky. Not only were the scores close and they were last minute wins, but there was always some interception, fumble, weird miracle, that happened. With Bo, it's like there tends to just be some really great plays at the end, or really good plays that get him in a position to win the games. The defense is certainly responsible for most of these wins, but the regression thing can also be a Sean Payton, or at least he's a contributor to that. Would you agree with that or not? After I just yammered on for 5 minutes.
I know he absolutely, and we saw some of it last night. Like, he gets way too cute on 3rd and 1. Stuart, my co-host on Dublin to Denver, he feels like that Payton is putting too much on his plate, and that would be the expectation. Look, I want it to work for Bo Nix. I really do. I think it'd be great if it did. I would have 2 slight things that I would point to. One, Bo played a record number of games in college, okay? 61 games. He is halfway through. He played a full season last year plus a playoff game. We're talking about a guy who's played between college and the pros. He's not far off 100 games at this point. So how much more scope is there? That's just a question. The other thing I would say, just to keep an eye on, and I don't know if this means anything, right? But if a team was truly sold on him, why would they not go out? Our tight end room is one of the worst in the league. Truly, it is. I mean, we've got problems in other areas, but the tight end room is, I mean, talk about an albatross around this team's neck. If you really felt like he was the guy, surely you'd have gone out and made more of a move, because look around the AFC. There's no monsters this year. The monsters are quiet. The Dragons have been slayed. The Chiefs are not who the Chiefs were. The Ravens are not who the Ravens were. The Bills don't even look that scary. There is a real opportunity to push on here. And if you felt it was the weapons, and don't get me wrong, the weapons haven't been up to scratch, but I'd like, I think there's a significant, there's blame that can be apportioned in all sorts of different directions. I would like to see Bo, he needs more. We do need to give him more time, and he should probably get until the end of next season.
Yeah,
but I agree. I am also conscious, that I want him to take a step forward, because my defense is more variable than offense, and we have a historic defense, and it would be a shame to see that go to waste. So I'm hoping he can do it, but I think you've probably got to give the guy until the end of next season. But I can say, what I will say right now is I would have real issues in giving on his play right now, giving a big second contract, because I think you're seeing in Miami and down in Arizona what happens when you overpay a second year. That's not to say he can't get there. Maybe he can, but right now it's shaky.
Yeah, I agree with most of what you said there. I certainly agree with the big second contract thing. It's too early for that, but certainly Bo gets another year. I am going to wait until after the mini break and then their actual bye week. So I just don't think there's time to make a lot of adjustments. You know, you go from game plan to rehab to walkthrough to the next game, and to sort of revamp things. It takes a little bit longer because it's not just the quarterback, it's the protections, it's the personnel, it's the blocking. There's a lot of things going wrong on offense too, and it's not just Bo. But the one that concerns me the most is Bo, because he's the one that controls the outcome of the game more than any other player on the field. So still a believer. And but you can't deny what's going on there. It's very interesting what's going on out there.
I am Mulder from the X-Files, Mike. I want to
You got to
believe.
see it.
I want to believe.
Yeah. Well, you know, belief is a choice. I choose to believe, and I am happy, and I'm happy we're 8-2. So I'm glad this isn't a live recording, because the chat would be all over us right now for being so negative. Don't get us wrong. We love to win. We love being 8-2. We had the best record in the NFL. We just found it interesting that some of Sean Payton's spokespersons,
not just one, not just two,
several are putting out it's possible that Sean could draft a quarterback. It's possible that Sean wasn't as sold on Bo as we thought. That stuff is out there. Those are all facts that they're out there. Whether they come from Sean or not, somebody cleared it.
I think what we're saying is it's interesting that it's out there, but I don't think either of us want to move off of Bo Nix. I think we're saying there's lots of potential. We need to see how this plays out, but at the same time, it's worth keeping an eye on what's happening and not being blind to it. But we've both. I think you're firmly on the Bo train, and I'm saying I want to see the kid get more time. I want to see him get until the end of next season.
Well, I'm firmly on he's our starting quarterback, and he obviously, I like his attitude. He wants to win. He's not playing well enough. You know, I'm not saying he is, but yeah, I'm totally in with Bo. I want him to succeed. I want him to play well. I want my team to win, and I will root and be a believer until the end of the season. I was not that way with Russell Wilson. It just wasn't there. I didn't see the glimpses. Like, I see a young quarterback who possibly has too much on his plate right now. 61 games in college with 4 different or 5 different offensive coordinators. He got through that, but not all of those years were great, but he did that. That doesn't mean everything translates to the NFL. It's still a big step. It's still a hard step. And you're just proving my point in the fact that Sean Payton's looking at it the way you are. Hey, this guy's got 61 college games under his belt. He can handle anything. He's a football guy. We're going to have so much fun. Watch this cute stuff. Like, you can't script 12 plays, 15 plays that work at the beginning of the game. No, 4 straight 3 and outs is what you scripted. It's ridiculous. So I'm not happy about that, but I'm still
I
on
think
Bo.
you, me, Sean, and Bo need to go for pints. I think what
we do too.
Happen.
I think we do. I'm putting it out there, Sean. I know you watch the show, Coach. I'm sorry, I know you like me to call you Coach. If you have the time, we'll fly Colum over, and
hey, during the bye week, come to Dublin.
Oh yeah, we can all go. We can come to Dublin as long as I can bring Teresa with me. I'll come. Or we just go to the Dark Horse in Boulder.
Rediscover the magic, find the mojo. We'll do it. We'll tour Dublin's best pubs, and it'll be happy days from there.
We'll work it all out. We'll script some plays for you. So for Colum Cronin, Dublin to Denver. And thanks for coming on the show, man. Catch us both on the Spin Zone, the NFL Power PR. There's stuff out there, you guys. That show's going to be live here in a little bit today. This one will be live, and then I think tomorrow night I'll have Nick Kendall, David from David Talks Sports, another surprise guest I won't tell you about. We're going to do a mid-season review of these Broncos who are in first place. You Bo haters, you Colum, you Bo hater.
That's why Mike has me on this show. I'm out in an island.
This way I get to be, when everybody's mad at the show, they can be like, yeah, Mike was, but that Colum guy, man, what a hater. All right. Cheers, guys. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching the show. We'll see you soon.